This is a book review of Hayek's Denationalisation of Money. This book would be of interest to economists, anyone interested in economic history. Hayek is one of the most eminent and notable economists of the 20th century. The main arguments put forward by Hayek in this book in the late 1970s, this came out around 1977. This is relevant because the early 1970s saw quite a long, severe bout of inflation. And in his view, Hayek's view, inflation is an evil, it's insidious, it creates lots of economic problems. And he argues in this book that it would be better if societies had a number of competing concurrent currencies. That is to say that banks were allowed to create their own forms of money, their own currencies that people could freely use, trade, exchange in, buy and sell goods and services, and that this would be better for the economy because banks would have a self-interest, they would have an incentive to produce currencies that maintain their value. Many would disagree with Hayek's view and would not be happy with his kind of economic system, which they might consider chaotic. If there's too many forms of money, how do people know which one to use? Many people would argue that the current system, which has evolved in the UK for over hundreds of years with the Bank of England, and then all of the changes which have taken place since, there is a system which might not be perfect, but is quite efficient, works, and on the whole does the job, and that there is no need to make things too complex, to have too many competing currencies. The book is quite technical in places. I would say this is intermediate level economics. When he talks about employment and interest rates, you do have to have some knowledge about what he's talking about. He was in his 70s when he wrote this book, and so his knowledge, his understanding, much of which is tacit and built up, accumulated over a long period of time. Newcomers might not necessarily get his points because they may have missed a few steps in his assumptions and logic. What do you think? Check out the book. Thanks for watching.